Good day everyone, I'm Princess Aratog and for today's video I'm going to discuss the first and second trip of Jose Rizal in Europe. And now let's begin our first presentation in the first travel of Jose Rizal in Europe. Jose Rizal is a fourth-year student of University of Santo Tomas. He was disgusted of the educational system and racial issue there, so he decided to leave University of Santo Tomas and continue his study in Europe with the support of his older brother Pasiano. Jose Rizal's secret mission. Jose Rizal had two main reasons why he wanted to go in Europe. First is to finish his study in Europe. Second is to study the life and laws in Europe for Filipino liberation versus Spanish imperialism. It is to observe keenly the life and culture, languages and customs, industries and commerce, and governments and laws of the European nation in order to prepare himself in the mighty task of liberating his oppressed people from Spanish tyranny. The purpose of his secret departure for Spain is to avoid detection by the Spanish authorities and priors. Only few peoples know about his secret departure for Spain. These are Pasiano, Antonio Rivera, Shengoy, and family of Orang. Rizal was the only Filipino, the rest were Spaniards, British, Indian Negros, Captain Donato Lecha, the ship captain from Asturias, Spain. On May 3, 1882, Rizal left the Philippines for the first time without the knowledge of his mother and Spanish authorities and priors. He boarded the Spanish steamer Salvadora. His brother Pasiano told Jose to use his cousin's name, Jose Pasiano. From Manila, Jose Rizal went to Singapore, Colombo, and through Suez Canal before reaching the Europe. On May 9, 1882, the ship stayed on Singapore for a while. Rizal registered in Singapore and spent 2 days on a sightseeing soiree in the city, which was the colony of England. On May 11, 1882, Jose Rizal boarded a ship in Jemna. It is a French steamer ship. On May 17, 1882, the Jemna reached Point Call. It is a seacoast town in southern Ceylon. Now it is called Sri Lanka. The following day, on May 18, 1882, Rizal reached Colombo, the capital of Ceylon, and Rizal was fascinated by the wonderful scenery of Colombo. That is why Rizal wrote Colombo is more beautiful, smart, and elegant than Singapore, Point Gal, and Manila. The steamship sailed ahead towards the Indian Ocean to the Cape of Gaddafi, Africa, after the next stopover in Aden, a seaport city in Yemen. It then sailed towards the Zeus. Rizal disembarked and went sightseeing when Jemna reached the city of Zeus, the Red Sea terminal of the Suez Canal. He was most impressed with the moonlight in the city, which reminded him of his hometown and family. On June 11, 1882, Rizal passed to Naples. It is the coastal city in the Kingdom of Italy. Rizal admired the business activity, scenic views, and lively people in Naples. After the Naples, the steamship anchored on the French harbor of Marseilles on June 12, 1882. He visited the two tourist spots in this place, such as the famous Chateau d'If. Rizal stayed 2.5 days in the Marseilles. On June 16, 1882, Jose Rizal reached Barcelona, Spain, 3 days short of his birthday. He was welcomed by his fellow Filipinos. During his free time, Rizal enjoyed walking along the most famous street in Barcelona, de las Ramblas. Jose Rizal was enrolled in the Universidad Central de Madrid on November 3, 1882, and took up the two courses and at the same time took language lessons. From June 17, 1883 and August 20, 1883, Rizal spent his summer vacation in Paris at Hotel de Paris and later transferred to a cheaper hotel. He enjoyed his vacation in Paris and as he visited the beautiful boulevards in the city. According to him, Paris is the costliest capital in Europe. Jose Rizal's financial difficulties started when his family agricultural crops in Calamba were affected by drought and locusts, and at the same time, the Dominican friars suddenly increased the rental price of the estates, which made the Rizal family to adjust their capital costs and other expenses. and because of such difficulty, the family failed to support Jose's stay in Europe. And now, let's proceed to the second travel of Jose Rizal in Europe. Rizal's second travel abroad may have been upsetting, but it nonetheless provided him with another opportunity to have new set of adventurous journey. On February 3, 1888, Rizal sailed to Hong Kong on board Zafiro and just stayed inside the ship during the short stop at Amoy. He stayed at Victoria Hotel in Hong Kong and visited nearby City Macau for 2 days along with Jose Maria Basa. From Hong Kong, he reached Yokohama, Japan on February 28, 1888 and proceeded to Tokyo the next day. On April 13, 1888, Rizal boarded the ship Belgique. The ship arrived in San Francisco on April 28, 1888. For a week, the ship passengers were quarantined allegedly because of the cholera outbreak in the Far East. On May 6, 1888, Rizal went to Oakland. On board a train, he took his evening meal in Sacramento and woke up in Reno, Nevada. He had visited also the states of Utah, Colorado, Nebraska, Illinois, and finally reached New York on May 13, 1888. In London, Rizal manually copied and annotated Marga's "Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas", a rare book available in British Museum. He also became the honorable president of the Patriotic Society Association La Solidaridad and wrote articles for the La Solidaridad. In his 10 months stay in London, he had short visits in Paris, Madrid, and Barcelona. In Spain, he met Marcelo H. del Pilar for the first time. Del Pilar was one of the renowned members of the propaganda movement, along with Graciano Lopez Haina and Mariano Ponce and Rizal. Propaganda was a patriotic social political organization founded in 1872 by Filipinos to settle in Europe. Its members were mainly Filipinos who had settled in Europe's universities at the time. In Belgium, Rizal busied himself with writing the El Filibusterismo and contributing for La Solidaridad using the pen name Dimas Alang and Laong Laan. When he heard the news that the Calamba agrarian trouble was getting worse, he decided to go home, but Pasiano told him by letter that they lost the court case against the Dominicans in the Philippines and they intended to bring the case to Madrid. This prompted Jose Rizal to go to Madrid and look for a lawyer and influential people who would defend the Calamba tenants. Rizal traveled to Madrid on August 1890. Along with his lawyer, Marcelo H. del Pilar, he tried to seek justice for his family but could not find any influential Spaniards who could help them. Rizal encountered many adversities and tribulation in Madrid. He heard that his family were forced to leave their land in Calamba, and same family members were even deported for far places. Rizal went to Ghent in July 1891 because the cost of printing in the place was cheaper. The publisher of F. Mayer Valnu Press agreed to print the El Filibusterismo on installment basis. Despite pawning all his jewels and living tight-fistedly, Rizal ran out of funds, and printing had to be suspended on August 6. But through Valentin Ventura's salvific act, the El Filibusterismo came off the press on September 18, 1891. 2 weeks after, he visited Paris for the last time to bid goodbye to his friend and compatriots.